Hi, everyone, and welcome to our e-learning business leadership course for the spring semester 2022. My name is Ms. Thompson. I know that I'm talking to you from the school, so I'm wearing my mask right now, so you can't see my face, but I will be producing many videos throughout the semester, and you will hopefully get to see me without the mask, but still I wanted to welcome you to our course today and take some time to just introduce to you what the expectations are as you navigate our course. So, firstly, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here and I'm so glad that you've chosen this course. It's a fantastic course. My students always find that this course in particular is one that really enriches their lives academically, but also personally, because you really get to learn a lot about yourself as you go through this course. There's a lot of really fun activities and learning modules that give you insight and reflective insight into your own life. So, welcome. I want to just take some time now to introduce myself, but also introduce how I navigate this course. Every teacher is different in Brightspace, and every teacher is different on e-learning. Although there are parallels, it's important to know that every teacher kind of runs their ship a little bit differently. I'm very type A, which we're going to learn about in this course. And I like to try to set things up so that organizationally, you have everything that you kind of need at your fingertips so that you can be successful. As you may know, if you've been an e-learning student before, although we all have been throughout the pandemic in some way, it's hard to stay on top of things when you're working in an online environment. And so that's really going to be the most important thing for you to think about as you navigate our course over the coming months. So first things first, this is our e-learning course in our Brightspace. This is your hub, and this is where you're going to be going every day for all of the content that you need, okay? Our activity feed here Our activity feed here is really the most important place for you to access updates of our course. Every single Sunday at 8 p.m., I will be posting something that looks like this. Okay, so what's on tap for this week? And every Sunday at 8 p.m., I include a little bit of a description as to what we're doing. And then I also link in our weekly breakdown. Okay, so as you can see, our weekly breakdown opens up and I go through and I give you all the information you need to be successful for the week ahead. So I give you everything that we're doing for Monday, everything that we're doing for Tuesday, and so on and so forth. And this includes all the links and all the hyperlinks that you would need for accessing this material. Now, please also note that if it's a lesson, a slide deck, or an assignment, you'll also be able to find this information in Brightspace if you look under content or Dropbox. But I'll kind of explain that as we go. So it's really important that you listen to the full entirety of this lesson. Anytime I produce a video, you want to think about it as Mrs. Thompson is teaching me a lesson. I'm not in class, so this is my lesson as though I were in class today. So it's really important that you listen to the videos, okay? You don't want to miss those details. So in an e-learning classroom, you know that there's no assigned and allotted period in a day where you have to be here. You have to decide how you're going to navigate your lives around this course. The most important thing for you to do is to not leave it to the final hour, okay? To not leave it as something that you get to, at the last resort. I would really ideally recommend that you carve out an hour every day for business leadership as though you were in a regular school setting, okay? However, it is up to you when you do this, but you really want to remember that everything that we do in this course is treated the same way that if you were in a regular semester, meaning that you want to allot an hour and 15 minutes per day for this course as well. So when you multiply that by 5, you're looking at about 6 hours of time to devote to this class every week on top of your additional courses. If you don't do that, you find you will fall very far behind and it becomes very stressful. Okay? So how you navigate your time is really up to you. And I'll explain how deadlines and whatnot works as we go through this. Okay? So first things first, in our week today, as you can see, on Monday, I've given you some things that you can do today. Okay, so you're going to complete an About Me survey, and this is our participation activity for day 1. A participation activity is otherwise known as an attendance check. You have to complete these tasks for your attendance. If you don't fill in the survey, even if you log in to your e-learning classroom, you'll still be marked as absent. Don't ask me why, but this is just the system because it's really the easiest way for us to keep on top of things. So you have to fill in a participation activity every single day on that particular day. So for example, if you don't complete this participation activity today, when I go in to do attendance for you, I won't see that you've done it, right? So I'll have to mark you as absent for Monday. So do the participation activity every day on the date that it is assigned. And this happens for the first 2 weeks. After that, it's only one participation activity for the entire week. If you don't complete the participation activity that week, you will be marked absent for the entire week. You don't want that. Okay, so they're really simple little surveys. Everything is linked in here. Okay, so for example, open this up, you fill it out, and I mark you as in attendance. Okay, and you're going to do that. There's also an e-learning orientation to complete. This is located under content in Brightspace. Okay, so if you go back to Brightspace, you click on content. Since we're here, I'll just show you that we also have all of our unit information there as well, course information, and here is the e-learning student orientation. Okay, so you can go through that. Okay, it's all there for you. And it's like the what you need to do is here, okay, for that. Course information includes the course outline, business leadership, course procedures, rules, all of that stuff that you should know what to do by now anyways. Okay. Additionally, I want to draw your attention to this little button here. This is a course schedule button. This is just like if you fall really far behind or you need to refer back to something that we did like a month ago, as we go through the course, I will just update this with everything that we're doing every day. So every week will be kind of updated. However, this is not going to contain the video lessons that you need. So the best thing for you to do is just follow along every week. Remember that every Sunday at 8 p.m. I'll be posting what you need to do for the week ahead. You orient yourself to the week ahead, put all of the things that you need to do in your agenda, and make sure that you're actually carving out that hour and 15 minutes per day. Multiply that by 5 to make sure that you complete the expectations of your e-learning course. Most students perform very, very well in this course if they stay organized and they allot that time. The students that really struggle are the ones that just leave it to the end and never get to stuff, fall behind, and can never catch up. We have to remember that this is a grade 12 academic course, so we do want to treat it like that. Okay? So going back to our weekly breakdown, we have our first introductory lesson here. So what I will often do is I'll include slide decks. So for example, right here, I've included a slide deck, and this is considered a lesson. Now, some lessons I'll include a video, some lessons I won't, but it's always expected that you go through the slide deck, and then when it's content, that you keep your own set of course notes. Okay, so for example, if I give you a lesson on, managerial, strategies as an example, you'll have a slide deck, you'll go through it, and you'll keep your own notes. You can keep notes by handwriting those notes. You can keep notes by creating a Google folder. It's really highly recommended that you do that, again, because you do have tests in this course and you do have a final exam. And if you don't keep notes, then it's really hard to stay organized and figure out, where was that lesson and what week was that and where was that? So I always recommend that we treat, again, these slide decks as a lesson. You go through the lesson. If you have any questions about the content, you email me, and you keep notes so that you're organized, so that when it does come time to writing your test, you've got your notes right there, and it's easy for you to follow along and to study. Okay? So that's something that I always recommend to e-learning students as well, right from the get-go, is that we just really try to ensure that you keep detailed course notes. Okay? Okay. Don't know why this is not closing. Okay. So continuing on, again, everything is here for you. You can go through every day. Don't forget to do your participation activities for each day. I will often link in videos. So for example, on Wednesday, you've been assigned to watch a TED Talk. And then typically there'll also be, other corresponding things that you do with that. But all the videos in this class are really important as well. And you want to also take notes on those videos because you'll be referring back to that on future assignments, discussion posts, or of course, anytime there might be a test. Okay. And on our second day here, which I'll explain in our video tomorrow, you also are going to be assigned your very first discussion. We do discussions in this course a lot. The reason for that is because it's an awesome opportunity to collaborate and to make connections with your classmates in an e-learning space. But it's also to help you really understand the content. Discussions are mandatory. They are extraordinarily important. I even had a student last semester say that the discussions were what helped him understand the material with greater richness. So The discussions are really important. I will also mark discussions at random. So they are worth marks. It's something that, again, is really important that you do for multiple reasons. In our classroom, if you go to communication and discussions, you'll see that the discussions are there. The first discussion this week is really easy. You just have to reflect on, share a little bit about yourself. As you can see with discussions, you can always write a written response or a video response, whichever is your preference. And for every discussion in this class, you also have to ask one question at the end of your discussion post for your classmates. So imagine you're in a classroom, you're asking questions of your peers and whatnot. But of course, in our e-learning classroom, we do what we can. Okay, so you're going to ask a question of your peers after you answer the questions that I've assigned to you to reply to. And then you have to go back through the discussion posts and read and reply to at least 2 peer posts. So this is factored into your marks as well. So you do have to go through and read discussion posts and then comment on at least 2 peer posts. So for the first one, you just have to tell me your name, what are some of your passions and hobbies, and then also reflect a little bit on COVID and how your life has been impacted by that. Then you're going to ask a question of your classmates, and then you're going to go back and you're going to read and review other classmates' posts and then comment on them. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Again, an important part of our course though. Okay, again, don't forget to do your participation activities. And there's a first assignment that you'll have to do this week as well. It's a journal entry. So we do a lot of reflective practice in this course, again, because that's how we grow and we take space and time to reflect on ourselves and also the content that we're learning. So if you go to our Brightspace Classroom, you go to content. Sorry, my apologies. You don't go to content. You go to assessments and Dropbox. You'll see that your first assignment is also located there. Okay, and then you'll find that right here. For every assignment, you want to create your own Google document and you want to submit it in Dropbox. And all of our assignments in this course, this is something that I do that not every teacher does. But in this course, I always have all of our assignments that we do for each week due the following Monday at 8 a.m. So why I do this is because, again, one of the benefits of being in an e-learning class is that you get to have some flexibility, which is great, right? So you may want to carve out an hour and 15 minutes each day to work on this stuff. Or you might want to carve out, 3 hours on a Friday and 3 hours on the weekend to do it. It's kind of up to you and how your learning skills work and how your brain works, right? As long as you get it done. So what I always do is I say, everything that you have to do this week is always due the following Monday by 8 a.m. It's consistent throughout the entire course. That's so that nothing is hanging over you from last week as we move into a new week. That's really important because, again, if you fall behind, it becomes a domino effect. It's very overwhelming for a grade 12 student, but it also gives you some flexibility in the week, okay? So that includes everything. So assignments, discussion posts, comments on peer posts. So every Monday I go in and then I look back at the week and I look at who's done everything to make sure that everybody's on top of things, okay? Every once in a while, this will shift because, maybe it's a major assignment and you need a couple of extra days, but it's very rare that I do this. And when I do, I make it very, I let you know, basically. Okay, so for this week, your first task is really to orient yourself to the course. Make sure that you kind of familiarize yourself with Brightspace and how we do things. Obviously, watch this video, making sure you get all those fine details. You're going to complete your About Me survey, your participation activities. So that's one different activity every day assigned on the day if you want your attendance done for that day. Okay, you're going to do your orientation. Please read through my slide deck so you learn a little bit about who I am. Okay, and then on day 2, you're going to, again, go through all of the links, your participation activity. You're going to learn a little bit about how to be successful in an e-learning classroom and then do your first discussion post. Okay. And the third day, you're going to be watching a TED Talk. Again, completing a discussion post, completing a participation activity. Thursday, you're going to have your first reflection assignment, participation activity, and then Friday is just a day to clean everything up. Everything is due by Monday at 8 a.m. Okay? I will be posting a video tomorrow just to go through a couple of things that I think are important to be successful in the class. But otherwise, this is pretty much everything in a nutshell. With regards to contacting me, of course, one of the disadvantages of being in an e-learning class is that you don't have access to your teacher But I am always pretty vigilant with my email. I try to get back to students within 24 hours. So you're welcome to send me an email if you have any questions or concerns. Very important that you do communicate your needs throughout the semester, because if you don't, I really have no idea. And especially in an e-learning classroom where I can't just, pull you into the hallway and say, hey, are you okay? What can I do to help? So just again, really trying to honor that, and trying to advocate for yourself and reaching out and communicating via email. Like I said, my policy is to turn around to get back to you within 24 hours. Doesn't happen on weekends because I like to spend time with my son, but otherwise, I'm happy to do that. Okay. So I'm looking forward to the semester with you. And like I said, stay tuned for another video tomorrow. I usually will do this video lesson every Sunday at 8 p.m. And that's usually one video lesson for the entire week, just so that you don't have to be tuning into video lessons every day. But for the case of this week, there'll be another video lesson tomorrow. And then otherwise, everything that you'll need to know between today's video and tomorrow's video will be there. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. It's just an email away. I hope you have a great first week, and I'll see you online.